Hi, my name is Aiden Martinez. Some of you may know me or of me, but this is my testimony. Growing up, I never had a father in the house, so my mom had to do it all by herself. I had a rough childhood because of it. I had a lot of questions unanswered and still do. A lot of nights I went to sleep hungry because my mom had to pay the bills, or nights when the lights were off because my mom had to put food on the table. It was just me, my mom, and my 4 siblings. I was born in Colorado. Around 18 months, we moved, and that's when we ended up in Zephyr Hills, Florida, where we knew nothing. This place, it was a new beginning. When we first got here, the apartment we were renting at the time wasn't ready, so we were stuck sleeping in a car. Around the same time, my mom started looking for churches around the area. This was way back when the New Walk was in the YMCA, and we started going there, and we fell in love with this church. We participated in set up and tear down and volunteered every week. Me and my mom would pray together every night and before every meal. Then it all just kind of stopped, and I started to believe less and less, and I started to lose my faith. My brothers started to get into some hardcore drugs and alcohol and things of that nature, and I saw the effects it caused on them, and they were not too good. It got to the point every night they were always trying to hit my mom and always fighting. I remember watching this all happening at around 5 or 6 years old. I remember running to my room crying, begging God to end this all. It all eventually stopped. Then we get to 3rd grade. I lost my grandma, and on top of this, I was getting bullied pretty bad. I was a bigger kid growing up, so I got picked on and bullied a lot. And it got worse towards 5th grade, and it caused me to start to feel very down on myself. In 6th grade, during COVID, was when the depression started. I got into a pretty rough breakup. At the same time, I was losing all my friends, as well as all my siblings moved out, and it didn't really make time for me. I felt alone, and on top of that, me and my mom were getting into arguments almost every night. And because of all of this, I started to act up in school, the class clown, never doing my work, always getting in trouble, and I thought if I could make everyone's day and make them laugh, maybe they wouldn't feel the same way I did. It was breaking me to the point that I got into self-harm. I thought it was the only way that I'd ever feel anything other than emotional pain. It was my way out. I was good at hiding it, till one day my mom saw the scars and sat me down crying, asking me what she was doing wrong, and saying she can't lose me. I still remember to this day the look on her face and the disappointment in her eyes. I'll never forget how much it broke my heart. Then she put me in therapy. I never took it serious. I just lied because I thought it was a waste of my time and my feelings didn't matter. And at the same time, I started attending to AMPed, but I never took it seriously. I only came to hang out and fool around. I didn't really care about the message or anything, and this all carried on until about 7th grade. I lost my great grandma, and I went for my first and only attempt. I wanted it all to end. I thought I was a burden on everyone. I questioned why God would do this to me and what I did to deserve it. I waited for my mom to leave work one day. I told one of my closest friends my goodbyes and I love him. 10 minutes later, my mom came rushing home from work, telling me to get into the car so she could watch me to make sure I didn't hurt myself. Then I find out my best friend called my mom and told her what I did, and I thank him every day for it. I then resorted to smoking. It was the only way all the voices stopped. I was at peace with my mind. Then a few months ago, I went through another rough breakup, far more worse than the first, and I resorted to the whole smoking again. It was an almost everyday thing. Now to current day, I was tired of the pain and the hurt and the short-term fixes, so I finally decided to take action and take the only long-term fix, and that is God. I've been reading my Bible a lot more. I've been praying. I've started to focus a lot more in school. I've been engaged in a lot more groups and in service. I've been taking my notes, and I'm waiting to be baptized. And I just recently went to camp, and I couldn't have been more glad that my mom signed me up. I found a very strong brotherhood. We hold each other accountable and just genuinely help each other grow. I met and regained some new friendships with some amazing people. I still have my rough patches, but something from camp that the pastor had shared with us: the walk with Christ isn't easy. If it is, you must be doing something wrong. I know for sure I have God on my side and I can do anything. As of now, I'm almost 2 years clean of self-harm and a few months clean of smoking. I'd like to share with you guys a Bible verse. A Bible verse that helped me through all of this. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Hey, it takes a lot to stand up here and say a lot of what Aiden just said. And for some of you in the room, your story relates more to Aiden's than it does almost anybody else in the room.